Hello everyone, my name is Shambhavi. Hope you all are doing well. So we would be further continuing up the same analysis which we were doing into the previous videos. If you want the complete data of the analysis, you can just go ahead and check out the previous videos which are already onto the channel. Okay. So now this is the time that we have done it for the age class, right? Up till now we have featured out the age class up till now, and just based over that we have just simply done about the is null and simply put down some different columns onto that, right? So we have just simply tried out that what are the null columns in null values into these respective columns, right? We just try to figure out that particular thing. As done the analysis previous, we even have checked out कि there were a lot of null values into our data, right? We have just figured that out. So now once we have figured out that there were a lot of null values into our data, so I'll just show you where we did. Yeah, see, for my age column we were having the 177 null values, right? So I just tried to figure in out the top 5 null values which were into our data, right? So here we are just having all of those 5 values, right? Now further after that, I just simply what I did, I tried to fill up those null values here by using the lambda function and the median method, uh, basically here, right? And just after all of that respective things, we are having here the length. And now when I try to find out what are the total null values into my column, I just figured out that okay, I don't have any null values into my all complete columns. So now this is the time that I'll be making up a normalized crosstab for my age fill and the survived classes, right? So making a crosstab for age fill and survived. Okay, making a crosstab for the age fill and the survived class. So now next, what do I have here? I would be setting up the axis, and even I would even be setting up my subplots for the same. So I'll just make up a column, sorry, two variables, fig comma axis, okay, plt dot subplots, okay, and in the bracket I have 2 comma 1, and next what do I have the fig size, right? So now figure size, what do I want to put? I just want to put fig size underscore width underscore subplots. Now what I'm gonna do here is that when we started this analysis in the very starting, so there I had set down a figure size, right? So there we just made a variable with the fig size with subplots. So that variable, it was already containing a lot of details, a lot of plots about the same, right? So from that place only I just wrote fig size with subplots, right? Going down, now it's the time that I'll be making up a histogram for my age fill and for my survive. These two, both of the columns, I would be making up a histogram. So I would just take, let's say, df1 as one of my variables, and I would just write df underscore t, that was my variable which I was simply taking to make up my plots, df underscore t. Bracket, again I would take df underscore t over here, and again in the bracket I would be writing survived. Okay, again I would be writing survived. One second, let me, yeah, survived, fine. Now I would be setting that if survived is equal to 0, I would be setting that respective thing, right? And after that I would be putting up my age column 2, which we were trying to make the crosstab for, right? So I was trying to fill up my age and the survived, these of two columns, with my crosstab method, right? So this is now what the required thing looks like. So df underscore t, in the bracket I have survived, and that is equal to 0, and again I have in the bracket as a age. Next I have as a df2, so that is again equal to df underscore t, in the bracket df underscore t, and after the survived class I would again now set up a parameter, that is survived. Now I'm just trying to set up the survived again as equal to 1, not 0, because previously we did it for 0. So again in the bracket I'm just going to simply put my age column so as to make a complete proper cross tab, fine. Next I have max underscore age, and that is equal to max, and here into the bracket I have df underscore t, that is my df trig, fine. And in the bracket I have this age fill. Okay, instead of fill it's age f, which column we have taken above. I'll just show you. Yeah, we just made a column with age f, right? So I'm just simply writing age f over here. I just hope so I haven't written anywhere else. Yeah, so age f, fine, that is now done. Further moving ahead, now I would set in my x's. So my x's is, let's say, 0. I'm going to set up a histogram, that is, let's say, hist. Into the bracket, putting the large brackets, I would set my df1 comma df2, these two columns which we have just made over here, df1 comma df2, and setting up a comma here, I would just write bins is equal to, I would set up a maximum age. So max age, a would be small, right? Max age, and I would just try to divide it by my bin size. So max underscore age, the variable, the column name, or the variable name which we had right away made over here, max age, and I'm simply planning to divide that by the bin size, right? Comma, I would be putting up a range 2 over here. So range is comma, let's say 1, comma, I have max underscore age, fine. Setting up a comma, I have stack is equal to true, that is, I'm just simply trying to make up a stack of all of the values which we are having. Next, turning over here, I would be making up the axis as 0, right? We have two x's, 0 and the 1 rows in the columns. So we are working over the rows first of all for making my cross tab, right? So my x's is 0 right away, and dot, I would be using the legend function which will help me to give in the names over here. So first one is like, I just wanted to write here over the first name as the died, and second one I would just put over AR as survived. Survived. Okay, that two things. Comma, I have the log value as best, right? So comma log is equal to best. This is first of all what I am looking for. Next is my x's would again be 0 dot, I would be setting up a title for my x's. So set title, let's say, okay, we can just simply write survived by age groups histogram. Right, let's say this is my very simple title which I just wanted to keep up over here, fine. Getting down, I am again going to put up the x's over here. So x's would again be my 0. I would be setting up my x and the y label. So set underscore x label, it's going to be age. Next I would be setting up here 0 dot, I'll be setting up the y label. So now this y label is my, let's say count, right? And 1 second, this would be in the small brackets, not in the large brackets. So just a minute, like this. Great. So I did even set down my labels and every single thing, fine. Now after this, with like histogram we did have made, now what I would be doing is, I would simply be trying to make up a scatter plot for my survived and for my age fill columns, right? So I would just be writing x's as 1 over here dot, I would be writing scatter, okay, and this time it's going to be df underscore t, in the bracket I have survived, okay, I have this survived thing over here as my column, comma, I would again write df underscore t, and this time it's gonna be age fill. Now you can just simply write here age f also, because that was a column name which we had made. But yeah, instead of that, if you want, you can just simply write age fill completely also, because it's simply gonna give up you the columns. So I would just rather to have any sort of a like error or something, I would just simply try to put down here as age f only. Okay, next again I'll be setting up my x's as 1. Now 0 is for my rows, 1 is for my column, as I told you previously, right? because in the crosstab we will be requiring both of the x's to be put down, the rows and the columns. So on the rows I want this respective thing that was we had already mentioned in the x is 0. On towards my columns I want this x is as to be 1. X is 1 dot set title, right? And in the bracket I would just write SURVI survivors, means the people who survived, right, by age. Now this is what we are doing it for my columns, right? Rows are different, columns are again different. Fine. For rows we had the histogram, for columns we are having up the scatter plot. Fine. Next we are having x's as 1 dot, we are having set underscore x label, and in the bracket I am writing survived. 1 second. Survived like this. Okay. And next to that again I am having x's as my 1 dot, I would now be setting up my y label. So set y label, and in the bracket we are having the y label as h. Fine. So x label is my set it as survived, y label is being set it as h. Fine. Now next what is to be done, we would just try to simply run out this respective program and check how the final result is looking for this, right? So I would just run this over here. Fixed size, okay, I would do one thing, I would just go above and check out what name did we give at that time. So I guess we did the size underscore subplot, so I would just remove that fig thing and I would just simply write here size. End object is, okay, let me just check what is it giving for number 5. End object for my row number 5, this. Now what is like we have done over here, simply we just have taken different like columns over here. First one was my survived, and I am just trying to check if it is equal to 0. Okay, one mistake I did, I do not need to put these bracket, I need to put this age column outside my respective whole bracket set, right? I would just try to run this over here once. Bins must be integer, string, or an array. Okay, now it's for histogram, hist df1 comma df2 and bins is equal to maximum age divided by bin size, and ranges are, okay, just let me check. So max age, max dft of my age, if that is my age fill, okay. Excess of 0 dot hist in the brackets df1 comma df2 okay, start is equal to true. Okay, so I guess this is like the type arrow, bins must be an integer, string, or an array. So here like whatever the values we have been given for the bins, that is my max age by bin size, right? So I just guess that this is not really an integer or something, because here under the max age like variable which we had made, into that we are having this max df underscore t, and into the brackets we are having this hf, right? So what we could do, we could just for now let's simply comment this particular one second, let's comment this particular line. Okay, and now if we just try to run this over here once again, yeah, now see, now we are just having the respective thing. So bin size was not actually able to take up over here, because the main reason for that is ki maybe into our complete analysis the age has not been converted into strings, into the integers. Previously age column which we were having, if you have like watched out the previous videos, so there you might have recognized that age was the column which was having up the I would say the float values. but the bin size can only be for integers or strings or arrays, not for the float values, right? And that's the reason it is not giving the respective result. So if I have just simply removed up these bins, now see, we are having the respective plot for both of the ones, histograms and the scatter plot, both of the values, right? Now next further, once we are done with making up all of these things, now I would just like, with these particular plots you are not really able to get some very much desired result. Now the reason is ki because it's not that clear about the things, or it's not that too detailed information that we can just try to get out some things from this respective plot. So now next, my next target will actually be ki I would just try to make up a proper plot which is really helping me to give up some good and desired information, right? So I hope you're pretty clear with this respective thing, whatever we have tried to made out over here, right? So let's see you in the next video. If you haven't subscribed out the channel, do go ahead and subscribe out my channel. Do share this video with friends and do like this video. I'll see you there in the next video.